Forecast discussion for January 28th, 2013, the last Monday in January. And it is pretty much starting out to be a snowy one for the most part for many locations in eastern Pennsylvania and western and southwestern New Jersey. And that snow will spread throughout all of the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area as we move on through the morning hours. As you can see in the observations, we have temperatures that have been steadily rising. Last night we had temperatures pretty much in the mid to upper teens in many locations. And as you can see, we have rebounded nicely already into the upper teens to lower 20s over portions of Connecticut and the Hudson River Valley, and mid to upper 20s over northeastern Pennsylvania, and upper 20s to lower 30s along the coast. We have warm air on the way, and because that warm air is trying to push out the Arctic air mass that has been in place, we're ending up with snow, and later on we'll see some sleet and freezing rain, and eventually some rain. It's going to be a little bit slick out there, especially in the mid-morning hours and late morning hours as the snow changes over to sleet and freezing rain and eventually rain. But I don't think this is a major weather event. It's a nuisance. It's something you're going to keep an eye on, especially if you're driving around the region today. But for the most part, I think many locations will fare just fine with some snow and a little bit of sleet and freezing rain and then some rain. Not a big deal. However, if you are in northeastern Pennsylvania, use some caution later on this morning and especially this afternoon, the early hours of the afternoon, because we're going to see some prolonged periods of freezing rain or freezing drizzle. That you don't need much ice to create some problems on the roadways when it comes to freezing rain. So use some caution and use some common sense. And if you're driving on a road that's not treated, drive a little slower. Make sure you know your winter weather driving skills. And if you don't, hey, stay home, relax. So let's take a look at the radar. You can see here we have precipitation moving into the region. Now, again, this is not a big storm here. This is a very quick push of warm air that's leading to this precipitation. It's a very much a front-end type precipitation. You can see the warm air pushing in, and as a result, we get this leading edge of precipitation. First snow, then sleet and freezing rain, and then we have scattered rain showers for the most part here and there over portions of western Pennsylvania. So this is a quick hit this morning. Again, not a major storm, just a bit of a nuisance, especially as this is starting to develop during the morning rush hour. Taking a look at the latest infrared satellite picture, you can see all the lifting is focused basically over the northern mid-Atlantic now, up towards the Hudson River Valley and portions of western and northern New York. And that lifting will continue to spread to the east as the warm front, which is right here, lifts north and east towards New England and the St. Lawrence River Valley. Now notice where this warm front is located here, okay? This is basically where the strongest warm air advection or warm air transport is located. I want to show you this. This is the 925 millibar temperatures as of basically 9 a.m. And what we see here is the strongest warm air transport. You see this gradient right here, and you see the way the height lines and the winds line up. It's clearly focused from southwestern Pennsylvania towards central Pennsylvania and heading towards central New York and the Mohawk River Valley. Why is that important? Because that kind of tells me where the best lifting, where the best dynamics are located, and where the best potential for moderate bursts of precipitation will set up. Because this is where the best thermal gradient is setting up. Now, over the Philadelphia, New York City metropolitan area, we clearly have cold air lingering here at the lower levels. And that's what's given us our snow currently falling in central New Jersey on back through eastern Pennsylvania. But this cold air is eventually going to give way under the influence of this warm air advection. Now, when we go up to 850 millibars right here, this is where our snow and ice line is basically setting up right now. This is going to continue to lift north and east and give way. We still have a bit of a cold pool. Now, the reason why we're seeing this morning is because we still have dry air lingering over portions of the New York City metropolitan area back through the Delaware River Valley. And so what's happening is that precipitation is moving into that dry air, and what you end up with is a evaporational cooling effect. This will give way and you'll have more of a uniform type temperature field set up as the atmosphere continues to moisten up, and as you can see, as it's snowing here, And as this area right here lifts north and east, we'll see our precipitation gradually change from snow to sleet to freezing rain and rain. And that freezing rain to rain transition will basically be when temperatures go from 31, 32 to 33, 34. We're not looking at a huge jump here, just a gradual warming throughout the region. So again, this is not a major storm here. And more importantly, take a look at this moisture transport here. You can clearly see if this was setting up here, I'd be a bit more concerned because that would be a large amount of moisture driving right into the region with an Arctic air in place. But it's not. It's basically setting up from the central Ohio River Valley off towards the St. Lawrence River Valley and portions of western New York. And that tells me that's where the best moisture advection is going to be. And that's where the heaviest precipitation is going to set up. So the forecast for this afternoon, and let me zoom out here for a second. Okay. Along the coast, we're looking at a trace of 2 inches. 2 inches if you get a moderate burst somewhere, okay? So that's basically much of the coastline back through southeastern Pennsylvania. This, again, is basically due to the warm air being able to invade these areas much faster. You could see some sleet and freezing rain, less than a trace of ice here. It's not a major event here for ice. A little bit further northwest over much of Connecticut, back towards northwestern New Jersey and east central Pennsylvania. Looking at 1 to 3 inches of snow possible here. Again, most locations around 1 inch. You could see 3 inches if you get one of those moderate bursts at the very start here. And about up to about 1/10 of an inch of ice, mostly in the form of sleet, but you could see some freezing rain as well. Now, notice I don't have the heaviest or highest precipitation totals over Connecticut. Again, that's because the focus of the heaviest precipitation is going to be further west. And then towards northeastern Pennsylvania, extreme northwestern portions of Sussex County in New Jersey, and portions of the Mohawk River Valley and portions of the central Hudson River Valley. Looking at 2 to 4 inches. Now, it is 4 inches if the changeover to ice takes longer, and so therefore you get more snow. I think most locations will be around that 2-inch mark. And then the ice potential anywhere up to 2/10 of an inch. There is concern that you'll see a heavier burst of sleet and freezing rain as that warm air makes that final push. And with the cold air very stubborn to leave these areas, you're going to have the potential, especially in some of those valleys, for some nice ice accumulation. So use some caution out there, especially in northeastern Pennsylvania and around northwestern portions of Sussex County. As far as the rest of the forecast, well, it's really not all that bad. Once this warm air moves through, well, it's going to warm up very nicely for Tuesday and Wednesday. We're looking at temperatures like for today, mid-30s for highs. Not bad considering last week we were struggling to break the mid-20s. Then we're going to rebound even more nicely tomorrow with temperatures in the mid-40s to possibly even a few lower 50s in portions of the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area. Now, with all this warm air invading, look out for fog, especially tomorrow morning. It could be locally dense with visibility falling below 2 miles in some locations. Then on Wednesday, it's just absolutely beautiful. We're looking at temperatures ranging from the mid-50s to lower 60s. Again, there's going to be potential for fog. That lower 60s potential will be blunted, or prevented, should I say, if we see a lot of fog hanging around. Now, we're going to have a really strong cold front here with a very cold air mass behind it, as winter returns once again by Thursday and Friday. But with this cold front on Wednesday night into Thursday morning, look for periods of moderate to heavy rain, possibly even a thunderstorm associated with this cold front. So Wednesday evening is not going to be very pleasant around the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area. But at least before the cold front, well, some locations will touch 60 or even break 60 degrees, so not bad at all. By the time we get to Thursday, though, look for temperatures to continue to fall throughout the day. Your highs are going to be in the upper 40s, but those are going to be morning highs, and we're going to see temperatures gradually and steadily fall off through the day with colder and colder conditions. Would not be surprised if we see some snow showers by the afternoon as some of this cold air rushes in from the Great Lakes and the St. Lawrence River Valley. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday look very chilly with temperatures once again ranging from the mid-20s to the lower 30s right along the coast, and our lows in the mid-teens to lower 20s as well. we're going to keep an eye on these disturbances here. Now, right now, many of the models, because of the way that this upper level lower polar vortex is set up here, suggest that any storm that blows up is going to blow up to the east of Long Island and then pretty much impact portions of New England. This is not a pattern that's conducive for winter storms for the northern mid-Atlantic. You'd want this upper level low back here, and then you want an upper level low here to slow down the whole weather pattern, and then you have building of heights up here. Right now, the polar vortex has dropped, and now it's starting to lift back, and the pattern's starting to reload and set up once again for mid-February on through early March. So we're kind of in this in-between zone right now, where you have all your cold air clearly setting up over eastern North America, but the weather pattern is not conducive for winter storms, just cold and dry conditions, and that will be the case for Saturday and Sunday, with the threat of scattered snow showers but no major storms, and temperatures basically in the mid-20s to lower 30s for highs. That is your forecast for today. Of course, you can follow the latest weather information at nynjpaweather.com and nynjpaweather on Twitter and Facebook, a Storm Surge LLC company. I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. Have a great day. Stay safe out there.